Good morning students. Today we are going to learn the 1.3 poem, that is Have You Ever Seen. Okay, so what is basically in this poem? This poem is written by anonymous, means we don't know who have written this poem. So what is the central idea of the poem? In this poem we can see that it makes a beautiful homograph use. What is homograph? We have already learned what is homograph in the last standard. Same spelling and different meanings, correct? That is called the homograph. And this homograph used in a puns. Puns is a figures of speech that we see later, but just briefly I am telling you now. A figure of speech where a form of a word play uses a multiple meanings of a term. A similar sounding words or the humorous, it creates a humorous effect. So in the same way, the poet also with the use of homographs create a humorous effects in the poem. So a pun makes an intended use of homographs and homonyms to add the humor in the poem. Thus the poet in the poem uses his imagination to describe homographs in a humorous tone. He conveys a message that things which are spelled the same are actually different in meaning and the uses. Okay, so now we'll see the poem line by line. Have you ever seen? This is the title of the poem. We don't know the poet who has written the poem. Have you ever seen a shit on a river bed? Shit means bed sheet over here. On a river bed. Usually bed is we are using to sleep. But for the river bottom also we said the river bed. So have you ever seen any bed sheet on the river bed? No. Or a single hair from a hammer's head. Have you ever seen a single head on a hammer's head? Has the foot of the mountain any toes? We are always saying the bottom of the mountain foot of the mountain. But have you ever seen toes to the foot of mountain? No, because we just usually saying it foot of the mountain, but there is no toes for the foot of the mountain. And is there a pair of a garden hose? Is there a pair of a garden hose? Actually, hose is what? A pair of a stockings or the tights. And another meaning of the hose is flexible. Already I have written on the board. Afterwards I will take the photograph and give it to you. Flexible tube, a pair of a stockings or the tights. Okay, so have you ever seen the pairs of a garden hose? No, because only the stocking has the pair, but the garden hose never has the spare. Does the needle ever winks its eye? Because usually we say needle's eye, and even our eyes also, we are winking like this, opening and closing, that is winks. But any needle's eye is winking? No, it never winks, correct? Why doesn't the wing of a building fly? Even suppose we are living in an apartment, and in that apartment there are A, B, C, D, whatever the wings are there, but it never fly. Although these are the wings, but it never fly. Okay, then so that what we are saying, usually the wings are used to fly. The birds are using wings for the flying, but the building wings cannot fly. See the homograph over here. Okay, then can you tickle the leaves of a parasol? Leaves means a human umbrella, a human body. Here the leaves are there. Okay, so parasol means the umbrella over here. So umbrella also has the ribs. Because of the ribs we can keep the umbrella open. Correct? So can you tickle the ribs of the parasol? No. So or open the trunk of a tree at all. Usually trunk is a back. There we are keeping our clothes or any important things in that trunk. So we are opening the trunk and taking out the things. Correct? But even the tree's trunk is also there. So that trunk we cannot open. Then are the teeth of a rake ever going to bite? So that rake is also, rake means what? Rake means what? An agriculture implement with a teeth. Okay, so it is an agriculture implement with a teeth, that is also called the teeth. But this teeth, we are having the teeth also. So that teeth we are using usually for bite, for eating. But can that rake teeth is usually bite? No. See the humor created over here. have you had the hands of a clock? Any left or right? So we are having the hands left and right, but the clock is also having the hands. We are saying the small hand, the big hand, but that both the hands, can you see that this is the left and this is the right hand? No, because all the hands of the clock are going from the one side usually. Then can the garden plot be deep and dark? See here the plot. One plot is, usually we are saying that the plot of the tragedy or the plot of any play. You know what is play? Drama. Dramatic situation. That is called the play also, plot also. But can you see the garden plot is very deep and dark? We are saying no, this drama part is very deep and dark. So this plot is also very deep and dark? No. And what is the sound of a bridge bark? So actually the sound of a bridge means what? Bridge means what? A type of a tree. So we are saying a bridge means dogs over here, and dogs are always barking. So can you see, can you hear the sound of a bridge as barking? No. See, the humorous effect in this poem is very nice. Okay, I think you have understood the poem. Again, I just repeat the summary of the poem. In the first stanza, the poet talks about the sheet of the river bed and hair for the hammer's head. These words are pun, as a sheet here means a bed sheet, but the river bed means the bottom of the river. Already I have told that, and has a relation to the bed. The top of a hammer is also called the hammer's head, and the poet alternatively talks about the human head and refers to the hammer's head are hairless. Next, the foot of the mountain means the base of the mountain or the bottom of the mountain has no relation to the human foot, and hence doesn't have toes like the human foot does. The poet further refers to a garden hose, which is a flexible tube used to water plants that he compares to its homograph hose, which means a pair of stockings. Then in the second stanza, the poet refers to the needle's eye and tells that it does not wink like a human eyes. The wings of a building are being compared to the wings of the bird. Here he is assuming that just like the wings of a bird help them to fly, the wings of a building should also help to them to fly, but it never worked. Then the ribs of the umbrella are homographically spoken about as if they are the ribs of a human body, which we can tickle. And then he talks about the trunk of a tree and the object of a trunk, a large wooden box. There we are storing the clothes or any things, and asking whether the tree of a trunk will be open like a trunk. Here the tickle meaning. Tickle means what? You know what? If we touch that the body part, the person will be laughed. That is called the tickling. Correct? Then, in the last stanza, the poet has made a reference to the teeth or of a rake, which is compared to human teeth, and he questions whether they can bite like a human teeth do. He wonders whether the hands of a clock are right or left like a human hands. He asks if the garden's plot can be dark and deep like a story plot or like a drama plot. Finally, he questions whether the bark of a brick tree can make a sound like the dogs are barking. Thus, the poet used of amusing puns to bring about the dual meaning or the two meanings of a certain words, and because of that the poet creates a lots of humor in the poem. I hope all of you have understood this poem nicely. In the next next video, we will see the various figures of speech. Very much important figures of speech in this poem is fun. Correct? So pun also are there, personification is also there. So these types of figures of speech we will discuss in our next video, and even the warming up session we will discuss in the WhatsApp discussion also. Okay, so in this way I have explained the poem. I hope all of you have understood the poem. Thank you very much. Take care, stay home, stay safe.